from little to adult, because I've been watching those shows and all of them feel like if I had a kid, they could watch it, and I could even probably show my parents some of those shows and they would get it. Like it, I don't know, but that's just me. But I know what you mean. It's just that the shows right now kind of reflect differently because they kind of hit a lot of not just kid things. Like you can, like my dad can probably watch it. But
Hmm.
yeah. But one thing I would say to add on to your character, the show did a lot to flesh out Sasha, to flesh out Anne, to flesh out the planters in the world. And I talked to Birdie about this last time. I actually think they could have added at least half an episode or some sort of extra like like maybe not foreshadowing, but like an extra back piece to maybe Marcy, showing her how maybe she felt like a little bit of the pressure from the trio. You know how the only thing we got was that sleepover where they're watching Lord of the Rings,
Oh, that
but like
okay. See, he didn't talk
I
about
feel
Marcy,
like,
but that I can see that.
but like to me the thing is because to me I see that scene and I understand because I've been that kid. I've been that kid where nobody cared about my interests. So for me, just watching that alone, I understood like almost 100% how Marcy felt. And the thing is, I've seen some people say that to them the weakest character was Marcy because they only got like what, the memory episode, the flashback, the little bits with Anne's flashbacks, and then Marcy reminiscing of no, not Marcy, it was Miss Olivia reminiscing when Marcy first landed and she talked to King Andreas, and that's about it. But we never got much else. But because of my own experience, I could understand and flesh out the rest of Marcy pretty well. But to a lot of people who didn't have that experience, they basically said the same thing, that Marcy needed an episode or something. Like she needed that extra, you know. But that's just me
I
to
mean,
give her a little bit more
yeah, I mean,
understanding. But that's it.
I guess I could understand that too because that is one of the questions. Now that you bring it up, I thought about is like, okay, she was afraid of moving, but there's more to this. Like, why is she so afraid? And they do a decent job of saying that she has attachment and she's very fearful of change, which was
Yeah.
the whole point of it. Is she is very fearful of change, just her personality in general, and she took it to the extreme. But I do agree they didn't really do a great job on showing that. That
It's
was
like they
more
gave
like
you
subtlety
just
that they
enough, right?
you had to pick up on it. I
Yeah,
guess
there you
is the
go.
best thing.
But
And I kind of did pick up on that because I could understand how she was a loner and she was also
hmm,
how do I put it. She's like the Robin Williams character because she's the person who is the happiest but actually really afraid and anxious at the same time.
yeah,
I'd say even more so than Anne was because Anne was just anxious from trying to figure out who she was, not anxious about letting go.
All right. Well, what? At least we understand that part. So back to the finale. It was a little bit fast paced, but it worked out in the end. Uh, Fighting the core felt like the Gurren Lagann, which is, like I said, pretty cool if you think about it. With you clarifying, that's actually a pretty cool thought. Which is funny. I think you're the only one who's actually clarified that, and I've watched a chunk of people explaining their opinion of the show, and I've heard the bad and the good, which isn't a lot of bad. It just sounded like a lot of like like they just didn't like the show, so they watched it just to be negative. I'm not gonna name drop, but it was just like it just it was just a lot of that. Okay, but there was some actual critiques, and like one of them was like the one that I said, and another is I personally felt instead of the speed up, which actually somewhat benefited the ending, they could have fleshed it out a little bit more with more fighting or something, so it didn't feel like you hit times two on it. But that's just me.
I don't know. Maybe there's production issues because like it's hard to say because you
Yeah.
can't knock the fighting. The fight scenes are good. They're 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 decent and they were animated well. You could tell they took their time and they knew what they wanted and what he was going for. Like a lot of the like just take away that it's fucking a salamander versus a human kid. Just the action frames themselves. I was like, damn, this is pretty good.
Oh, you're
You
talking
could
about All
tell
In. Oh, that fight was crazy. That was a legit
you
fight, though.
you could tell that it was like an influence of DBZ with a little bit of
Gundam.
influence Gundam. Yeah, it was weird. I was like, fuck, it is Gundam, and you could just tell like all these different references that they were going for, and they hit them spot on.
Oh, they did.
If you take it like if you set it back and stop thinking about oh it's a kid show for a sec, you can see the framework, what they were doing, what they were going for. Now again, like I said, not my cup of tea because the cheese was like wasn't
Oh,
bad.
okay.
It wasn't
Well,
like oh god this is stupid, but it was not for me is the thing I could say.
do you mean
But I did appreciate the framework and how where they were going with it with the action.
okay? Well, I guess with that we can go into like the finale. So the second half after the core, the whole like that's funny if you think about it, because well, we can talk about it now. Did you realize season one, Sasha almost died. Season two, Marcy almost died. Season three, Anne actually dies and gets cloned, and that is a new Anne that takes over essentially. Which you could argue with it or not. I know she's a 100% carbon copy, but I mean, kind of a thing if you didn't pay attention. Like, oh, everybody had their experience.
You
It's
mean
just
their
that,
near death experience?
well, except that Anne actually paid it. She actually did pass away.
Are you trying to give that? Are you trying to say that it has like biblical references of a new beginning,
I
like
wouldn't
Genesis or
say
something like that?
biblical, but I would just say like it's just a little detail. Like Sasha season one almost died. Marcy season
When
two
did she almost die?
almost died.
I don't remember that. When did she
Sasha
almost die?
almost fell off.
She
Fell
she
off
let
the.
go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
No. And
Oh yeah,
then she got saved by the
yeah, yeah,
toad.
yeah.
Captain
I
Grime.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because that fun fact that copyright song cost him so much money. Fucking Lean on Me was expensive. Apparently, it was really expensive. I'm never gonna understand copyright stuff.
Wait, what song was copyrighted?
Lean on Me, season one ending.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right.
Apparently, that's really expensive. He made that clear in one of the interviews. But so what did you think about that part then? What did you think of the whole you're dead, you're not really dead, you get to have your thank you for showing me, a different way of viewing everything, here's your life back basically, I know I just
mean,
completely TLDR it, but yeah.
This is my own headcanon, but it would be interesting to see these shows. Because let's be honest, like just from me and you constantly were gushing about the voice actors, how it was just so cool to see all these
Oh,
people
there are
we
so
recognize
many
from other
voice
shows.
actors.
And you can tell the atmosphere. You can tell like everything about the show. That's what I did enjoy the most is I could embody it as oh hey, I'm watching a bit of Steven Universe. Oh hey, I'm watching a bit of
Gravity Falls,
Gravity
Steven
Falls. I'm watching a
Universe.
bit of Bauhaus. Like
Yeah.
it all embodies itself, and
Yeah.
I agree with that. And the thing is, my own headcanon, but it would be really cool if they bridge the universes. They all have.
You
this
do
weird
know they do
sense of
have a
magical
theory,
time
right?
travel.
There is a theory.
Yeah,
If you
I
know,
mean, I know there's the theory out there, but
no,
it's just funny how like
the book that Marcy finds is by Dr. P. It's the same Dr. P that wrote the book in Gravity Falls, which is also a reference
why would
in
he
which is
do that?
also referenced in Owl House. I'm just letting you know there are little crumbs. I'm just letting you know,
Bruh. There's already a multiverse, so it's might as well. Why not? You don't question the multiverse. You question that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm just saying.
no, I'm just saying. Like, that's something that I would be down to see.
You see the Owl House in the Portal episode. when they're trying to get back to the when they find that crazy lady. What's her face?
Frog?
The crazy doctor, and they open the portals. And the first portal they open, one of them, the top right, is like actually the outhouse, all blurry.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. And then fucking a cameo of fucking. Oh, that's the next one we need to let him see is Gravity Falls.
Oh, Gravity Falls. Oh, that's a good one.
He'll love the cryptids.
Oh, oh, you will love it. It is cryptid heaven. It's a bunch of weird stuff. No, but sorry, we can't detouring. So that is a thing, but like, did you feel like so that ending was pretty much satisfying to you? You know, you did like that. The whole thing with Anne.
Wait, say it again.
So the whole thing with Anne's ending, or I guess the girl's ending, where Anne actually gets to come back. It's not. I mean, we can argue if it's the real Anne, but it's
not.
I mean, it depends who you ask. Cause it's like, you know, she's 100% copy, but she's a copy.
Yeah, but it's a copy's a copy. It's like a clone. 100% clone doesn't make it the original.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like Kachi said, it's definitely not gonna cause existential dread later on. I'm sappy, so me watching like Polly grow up and see them have their avocados. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, it's 2 months later in Amphibia, and it's 10 years later in the human world. So that's a little bit of a difference.
Wait, there's that much of a difference?
No, that's just the time that he chose to jump. Like when I think in Amphibia, it was like they were there like 4 months, 4 or 5 months, and then when she went back to the Earth, it was 5 months for sure. And they were there for almost a month, so you could say 6 months, and then she went back total.
Actually, I just thought about something that would be an interesting story tangent. Maybe he'll do it for the, like you said, he wanted to do the movie. How did the box get to Earth? That would be interesting.
They did show that.
They showed it, bro.
Yeah. Leaf took it, and then we got that fleshed out in the museum where they showed the urn, and that she gave it to the old Vikings. Leaf gave it to the old Vikings.
How the fuck did Vikings get to Amphibia?
It's just how when Leaf went to Earth to leave the box, she gave it to these Vikings.
How did she get back from Amphibia then?
You just basically give the box and run back in the portal. It's in the museum episode. You see it on the urn.
I didn't pay attention to the urn.
Oh my god!
I didn't even see the graphic.
What do you mean? It was, dude. They show it like in detail. Oh, come on, my dude. This guy excuses. Oh, I didn't see it, boy.
How did she? I wonder though. Why did she take it? Why did she put it on Earth instead of just destroying it?
Because it was preset and she doesn't know how to use it.
Yeah, because they were going to destroy Earth, remember?
Mm-hmm.
That was his redeeming factor for his father.
Yeah, which Andreas and his daddy issues.
I wouldn't say daddy issues. I would say it's like family issue. Like honoring your family. You know? Because there are people that have that problem where they're never good enough for the family. We saw that in Encanto. If you saw that movie.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh man, it's so cheesy. But I'm a freaking sucker for musicals, so god damn it.
What were you trying to get across though? Like, what else did you want me to talk about with the finale?
I was trying to see. I wanted to ask like what you thought of it as a whole, and then maybe since me and Birdie talked about this last time, what episodes do you think could be taken out, or what episode did you like the most? And if you wanted to rank these seasons, well, how would you rank them as if you had to put them in order? But not to be like, oh, this one sucks. Just to be like, like what's their genuine strengths, you know?
Oh, I mean, it sounds weird, but the weakest season for me is kind of one, just because I don't know. See, that's the weird thing. It's just it's not
I
it's not
don't mean
super
like it's a
appealing to
bad
me.
thing. Yeah, I just mean like comparatively.
Yeah, I know.
That's it.
It's not a bad thing either. It's just that's I get it has to be that way where it's like, oh hey, this is the new adventure. But the thing about it, like I even told you when I went in there, I didn't really care for the appeal of frogs and all that other junk. It
This
was
is
like
true.
whatever, to be honest.
You should have told me. I don't care about the show because I hate frogs. I do remember that.
I don't hate frogs. I just didn't care about it. Like to me, frogs were whatever. It wasn't like
Uh-huh.
appealing.
So you would say season 1 is the weakest. What about season 2 and 3?
I'm split on three. Two is not bad. Two is a little better, but I did enjoy the ending. I did I did enjoy the mid part of three. I thought it was pretty good. It's just it's a weird tie up because like I don't know. It depends how you take it. I guess to me, I feel like there was a lot of what you could essentially call filler in season three from the beginning, and then they throw in like tidbits of story and they kind of hurry up. It's
Mm,
weird. It's this weird like
I know what you
it's a
mean.
weird pacing. It's a weird pacing because when we go to Amphibia, it get like it's. I noticed every time they put the setting back in Amphibia, either from Andreas's point of view, Marcy's point of view, or even Sasha's point of view, we get story. But
Yeah.
when we're with Anne, it's like it's just chill. And I'm not talking. It's not for a very long time. Obviously, it's a couple of episodes, but it just feels um it doesn't flow as well. I guess you could say like it feels like feels like you're watching a different show. It feels like it's kind of.
Like it's what? Because by the way, you are cutting off a little bit, so just be aware of that.
I said it just feels like you're watching two different shows almost in the same universe because Anne's just she's so it feels disconnected. That's the word I could say.
Where
At
exactly? That's
times.
interesting.
It's like the first few episodes because it's I mean I get it. They were trying
Oh,
I could
season
see he
1?
was trying to make season
Okay.
three, like in the
Okay.
very beginning.
Hmm.
And then there's a couple of other filler episodes of shit we really didn't need to know about, but it happened. Like it's weird. Like it just like do you get what I'm saying?
Hmm. I don't see the part of a different show.
Like the Hot Pot being an actor, the let's see, what else was there?
Maybe
The grocery
maybe
store
maybe
episode
Tai
kind
Go.
of the Tai Go episode, that was just kind of like filler.
It
All that
was
stuff is
fun
like
though,
it
but
was
I get what you mean. Hmm. I mean, to be fair, it was stated by Braley that in season 3, after Marcy's death, Disney did say, "Hey, you got to bring back the fun, and we're watching you," because you basically just near murdered a child on the Disney cartoon show,
that was
um,
cool. That was epic.
which was pretty damn harsh. Let's be honest about that. But to me, it makes sense. But I understand what you're saying. It's like it's kind of they took a show and they were going, "Here's Amphibia, and now here's an episode of Earth." Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hmm. I can see it. I can see
No,
it.
I mean I get it. I get what they were trying to go for, where they were like, "Oh, hey, it's not all glum. Let's show some lighter side." But to me, it messed with the pacing just a little bit.
Hmm. Which is funny because, like, same thing I told Birdie, and if Birdie, if you want to add to this, as I rewatched season 3 with everybody, and in my experience, it was always the same thing. Season 2 is the best one. Season 1 is after. Season 3 is the weakest. I rewatched season 1, 2, and 3 again. Maybe it's because I watched it alone before, and now I'm watching it with people, not just myself. But I was able to enjoy the show and just sit back. And even though season 3A, the first 10 episodes, there might be a bit of a disconnect with the characters, I enjoyed it. It gave me a nice breathing room in some of them, in between fleshing out Anne's family, her dad, her mom, the stores, Andrea's being an asshole to the robot, like just these tiny little things and poking into like Anne's culture and the way they interact. Was it a filler? Yeah. I'll even now say that. I mean, it's a filler, but it let me have fun with it. So, to me, I actually found that to be good. Now, could we just delete the episode and it'll probably do nothing in the long run? Probably. And I wouldn't argue you if you told me if you take out these 4 episodes, this is a whole lot of a better season and the pacing is better. Then, all right, that's another conversation that I'll be down to have, because I'm kind of been curious personally on how we can abridge this whole series down if we had to cut episodes out. But that's just me in a little experiment. Season 3B though, I actually felt was still a little weak, because we have the build-ups and the reconnections for the war, and then we get to the war, and it's like a 5-10 minute fight, and a chunk of it's included in the castle with Evangelion references and more of the sneaky stuff, and Darcy and Sasha and everything. And even though that's cool, it was more of like, we have this whole build for an army, quote unquote, and the army is like 5 minutes of a fight. So I think I wanted more of that.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but I'm just a little confused on that, to be honest. Maybe it's because you're more in tune with Evangelion since you're one of your favorites. What were the Evangelion reference? What were the Eva references? Because I didn't really catch them.
The main one is when they're fighting in Tangent. Remember, they're fighting in sync, and they're split up.
Oh, it's the Asuka Shinji fight.
There you go. Right. There you go.
I about that.
Exactly.
Man, that's really that was I mean,
when it came out, I posted an image about it and nobody saw it. I was like, come on, this is, if you watch Evangelion, you know this Gemini Ava. Come on. The two halves that split into, come on. And they have to train and do that dance game to sync up.
But Anna and Sasha never did that, did they? I think
they play DDR, Matt. You have to sync up when you play DDR.
No. What I'm saying is, I don't remember them showing that Sasha.
They do show it when they skip school, and they show them playing DDR.
And it's such a background reference. I must have not
caught. It's what they do show it. Actually, they do. And if you ever play DDR with the buddy, you know what we're talking about.
To be honest, now that I think about it, they never really fleshed out Sasha as much as they should have either. Because there's a lot of her character that doesn't really known.
Are you sure? They gave her a lot. They gave her quite a bit.
You see her actions and what she says, but you don't. I'm talking about like before, like. I guess that's the biggest thing they could have focused on, or at least they could work on, is the girls, how they were before.
Did you not watch the flashbacks? Because when they do flashbacks, it's always them.
There were snippets, but I don't think it was a lot. Like, to be honest,
I felt like it was enough for Sasha. Compared to Marcy, that was plenty.
Okay. Marcy was like key points. I could understand that, but
yeah.
Sasha, they will see. Okay, to point it this way, like when you learn about how they got there, they pretty much made Sasha be a bully, and it does follow, but it's not entirely who she is. And you don't learn that. Like, see, it's weird because they do grow, but I don't. It's weird. It's like this, like, oh, that's them, but then it's not them.
I guess I get what you mean to flesh her out in that sense.
Just me thinking too much into it.
No. I think you're right. This is the thing is, a key point. Do you know the reason why I think it's enough is because they show all these points where she's basically the leader and she's forcing so many things. and then they show the Christmas episode, which even you yourself said you actually enjoyed it quite a lot. Did you pay attention when Anne was writing the notes? Her mom and dad are divorced. And you and me both know that parents who are split, the child tends to suffer from that, and it can be a negative effect. Whether they become more aggressive, whether they treat things differently, whether they treat others differently, it can be a whole bunch of things. So the way that Sasha ended up growing up, when I saw that episode and I saw those notes separated, I was like, oh, I get it. So maybe they could have fleshed it out, and I agree with you there. But to me, since I saw that and I picked up on that, to me it made sense. But I agree, we could have gotten a bit of a flesh out just for people who maybe didn't get it. But to me, that was enough. I don't know. Maybe it's another Marcy moment. Whenever they could have done more for Marcy, but they gave her such key points to notice that you're like, oh, I get it. But I don't know. I think we lost some boys. Oh, and by the way, if there's anybody still there, or if you're in stream, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. I'll read through, and we'll try to answer. So, or if you just want to hang out, that's all good and dandy. But any more things? The rating. That's right. So you say you're torn between the seasons. Is there any more episodes that you don't like, or any that you actually found to be a solid favorite aside from Christmas and part of the finale? It looks like.
You saying favorites?
Yeah, favorites, or any more that you didn't like, since you're kind of torn in the rating. I know you love the knick-knack shop. Come on, Gravity Falls is fucking. Come on.
Oh yeah, that's funny just because of the referencing. To be honest, I think it's funny. I swear, maybe he did this on purpose, but I really did enjoy the arguing episode where they take the two different paths.
Oh,
I swear, I swear that's an Avatar reference, but it feels like.
Oh shit! I think you're right. Oh, I didn't think of that. Well, kind of not though, because Anne and Pop don't argue. Oh, but there is a similarity though.
They argued in the crop field and got high.
No, not that one. Dude, I love that episode. That episode's so fun.
So fucking stupid out of nowhere.
And it's funny because when they talk to him in interviews, it's like, oh yeah, they both get drugged up and get high. Like, oh my god, Matt, stop. He just says it as it is. It's so funny. Well, Birdie, how about you? What's your favorite episode?
Well, I'm not one for filler or holiday episodes, so those are immediately cut out.
Heartstrings, who needs them?
But
it's like Sag all the time. Every day. They got it.
I don't know, because y'all never gonna like my answers, but I would say all the ones that had references, which is all, because like I said, I'm biased towards that type of stuff. I like that kind of stuff. I think it should be more. It shows that you understand your audience, or at minimum understand that type of audience exists. So with all the references of pop culture, the past 4 or 5 decades, that show is made for plenty of people.
It was.
Yeah, there's no segregation in that show, and I enjoy that. That show was made for humans.
It was straight up a love.
It was like a love show for like 80s and 90s kids.
It was made for nerds. It was definitely made for nerds.
But you know what? That's fair though, Birdie. you just enjoy the fact that you can go, hey, I know what that is. All right,
Yeah.
and that's
I
fun
leave
too.
I leave all the feels mostly in the music stuff. That's where I go for that.
Well, how about that
But
question
like
then? What?
shows, I don't really.
Yeah. Did anything stand out music wise to you then, or Matt? That's a good question.
Oh,
Since
I
I'm not.
enjoyed the hell out of the last season's intro and outro. It
Oh,
was the
the
best.
little tune ups. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was really just Sugar's. I don't know. I'd have to really go back and think about it.
Oh, sugar man.
I never seen Adventure Time, so I don't know. Y'all keep bringing up Sugar, and I'm like,
She did
It's
a
just
lot of
really
good
That
good
rapper?
songs for a budget
that
time.
rapper.
No.
No.
Hold on. Don't you remember the Christmas episode where you hear?
Yeah, I
the
remember
baby sing-
because yeah, Omega was gushing over it the whole time, and I'm like, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's Rebecca Sugar. She's made like half of the best songs of the fucking
You could
shows and
argue
series
like
we watch.
every
And I haven't
other
seen any of
song.
them.
Yeah.
I haven't
You
seen
gotta
any of
be
those
there.
shows. I passed Adventure Time. All that was mainstream, man.
Is she even in Gravity Falls, Reyes? I don't think so, right?
You know what? I actually don't know. I'd have to look that up. Actually, you know, I can do it right now. So, quick second. Just because why not? Is she in it?
This has been. This house was pretty small. Thought it was gonna be bigger.
It looks like she's not. She's just good friends with Alex Hirsch. Okay, well, okay. The only thing is, there's a reference of Gurko Stan singing Gravity Falls. I mean, a singing giant woman. That's about it, though. So yeah, no. So no, she's not part of that.
That's
Woman.
Connection's not a part of it either.
Yeah, that's like about it though. So sadly, no, man. No. But so you love the intro, love the ending. Ash, not a fan of Rebecca singing. All right, that's fair. And since we're done with that, because
Sucks that it's dead.
it sucks that it's ended. Well, remember, we can still have a
Yeah.
movie possibly, and we are still getting the
Yeah,
journal,
what a
which will
movie.
explain a lot more in Marcy's side, which is something that I've been asking about. So that's interesting. And yeah, I don't know. Only time will tell. There are people who are asking for a miniseries of the planters
Sprig and Ivy show.
Yeah, like Sprig, Ivy, and the gang.
Yeah, because they were going on an adventure and found another continent. How are you gonna add more lore and not add more lore?
Well, no, it's to like give more. Like, hey, they are doing
No,
something.
no,
Oh my god.
I want more. There's
just-
so many
What?
branching paths at the last season. They could instantly make so many extra shows. I know it's not really 100% up to him because Disney has to be the whole corporate allowing it and whatnot. But come on, the whole multiverse nonsense can go in that path. The whole Sprig and Ivy finding a new continent, that's a whole bunch of lore there. Or in general, just catching up to what has grown over the couple months in their land is lore there. That could be series. And then 10 years, a huge 10 years jump with the girls. They could have just freaking whole bunch of lore there or expanding. It's just like you've opened so many doors and didn't really, for me, you didn't close any of them.
But that's kind of the beauty.
Question.
Yeah.
Not for me. I'm too smart for that.
Characters. So, let me get this if I'm right. Marcy became a writer, right?
She
Like
became a webcomic artist,
writer?
yes.
Oh, so she wasn't. Was she like barely doing it, or was she actually like good or known?
She had a webcomic that was thriving last I checked. So she's known there and she's living like that.
And then Sasha became a counselor or a therapist.
She basically became I guess you could say either or, but for sure I think it is a therapist because she does have a psych degree. I guess counselors. I don't know if counselors need a psych degree. but I would say therapist just for the sake of arguing.
What did they tell you that she's a therapist?
They literally talk about it with Marcy and Sasha in her car.
The only thing I
So
remember them saying is that Anne doesn't keep up, like her and Anne are as close as they used to be.
yep, destroy their shipping for a minute. That
And
was
who
kind of funny.
cares?
No, but yeah. So Marcy became a webcomic artist. Sasha became a therapist for kids to help them out, and Anne became a herpetologist, which is a study of all of amphibian animals. Which
Yeah,
yeah,
because she couldn't let go of the past, which I mean, it wasn't that a bad thing.
I mean she
You could
did.
tell.
She changed.
No, she changed, but she's. I told you this. Remember, like her and Sprig, they both kind of couldn't let go of the past. And
I wouldn't say let
bad
go. I would
ways.
say build from it because, like for Anne, first episode, she hates frogs. She hates anything like that. Essentially, and she goes from being icky and with anything of that to literally having a life career in the basically in a STEM field, teaching and learning about the exact animal. She said, "I don't like those." I wouldn't say that she doesn't let go of Amphibia. I would just say she's grown from it and is using that to use as a step up. Because at the same time, you could argue with that Sasha hasn't grown up from her trauma, and instead she's helping people. Like that doesn't make sense. They had their issues and they're growing from it. You know, it's just different. I would say.
I don't know, man. She's a clone. She never had those experiences.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying, every other cloning or putting your brain into another body show and movie says
No,
otherwise.
I told him the exact same thing, and he's all like, "No, but you gotta understand, it's different." And I'm like,
You can't make it different
Ah,
because you're biased towards the show.
because whenever
It's
we
a
do
fundamentally standard. Clone is a
whenever we
clone.
talk cloning, we always talk like the scientific cloning, and it's like we can't clone memories yet.
Yeah,
And
you can't. And in general, memories are probably not even real either. There's a theory that it's just chemical reactions creating false memories that we believe we have. So if you want to do the whole, well, this is different because the memories are combined with her, so it is her. Well, then we can go the
no,
other route
because
and say, well, memories are a figment of
oh my
imagination as
god,
well. So
no,
that
no,
doesn't
because
work.
the only difference I would say is fine. Maybe I'm reaching fine, but it's like we have literally God making a copy of her, so it's like we could argue science, but at the end of the day, it's like it's cartoon God saying, "Yeah, I'll just make a copy of you. Don't worry about it." So it's like okay, you know, you could
I don't know
argue
if they.
you could argue plot
I
armor.
I see them as like universe lord or something. I never see them say they're God or anything. Or do they specifically say I'm God of everything?
He just is he's a deity
Because
of the stones, if anything. He's the guardian.
oh, so not
So,
good enough to be a full God then. So you can't use God logic.
but even then, he's got that much power. You know, it's like
Yeah, he has that much power to make copies. So does a fax machine.
oh my god, you know that's not the same.
Hey man, hey man. That's what I love about not being biased. I can
I
prolong,
I
like, hey, this just
guess.
means opens more doors for more episodes to answer these questions. And when he canonically says for himself, and when the guy who made the show sits down and says, this is what it is because of this, then I'll agree with you. But until
Oh,
then, you're
he actually
just,
talks about that. I'll try to. You know what? I'll try to
oh,
find the interview.
he confirmed 100%.
He confirmed that it is a copy of Anne, and it is up to you, the viewer, to come to your own
Nah,
opinion of if
nah,
it is the real
that's,
Anne or not. And he's like, that's all he's
nah,
gonna leave it at. And then he talks about the theories
yeah, that's the
of
same
that.
thing that Little Nightmares did, and I'm not down for that either. It's
"Damn you, spoilers!"
That's all
so
he said. I'm just saying, like
no, I know, I
he
understand
explains
that,
it a
but
little bit.
that's for the like the fans that want Infinity and Beyond and are content with Infinity Beyond. I'm not that type of fan. I want
No,
answers.
I know,
That's why I
I
still want
know.
answers from the Alien franchise because Oh yeah, sure. You
That's
gave
me.
us what engineers were, but it's not good enough. I want more. You still haven't
Fair
explained
enough.
this, or that. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep asking because I just want more.
I mean, you could ask him.
I
I mean,
mean,
he's doing another interview, and I think he just passed. Actually, never mind.
I mean, keep in mind this doesn't ruin the show in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
saying
It's
in
just
general.
talking
That's
about it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's still
Fuck you.
great. I just want more.
But that's just, like that's just me. We have almost here like fine. We have like a demigod over here. We have the guardian of the universe, and he did that. So to me, it's like plot armor, I guess, from the show. But
I don't know,
it
man.
doesn't.
It seemed to me she was acting kind of weird, but I guess maybe because she's grown up, she doesn't want to act all energized.
Well, imagine talking to like what you could think at that moment is like God, essentially. Like, oh, this maybe God. I don't know. Maybe and what people want to say like an angel. I don't know. But like, imagine your situation. How
Yeah.
would you act? Like, maybe the
Yeah,
same.
first learning that there's different universes and then learning that there's multi
Yeah,
universes and
exactly.
that
And you're
that you
like,
died and that yeah, because the last season is a bombardment of information and I need,
yeah.
I guess, closure.
Which is what you stated too, that it was a bit too much, and you wanted a bit of a breathing room, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's a fair statement on that. That's why to me, I still believe. I wish they had the time and power for that, and energy and money. But like the last
Yeah,
episode, instead
right.
of being 28, 29 minutes, and I think 3 minutes of them is like credits, it could have been maybe a little nicer to give it that extra 10 minutes for a bit of a feel, something.
Yeah.
But not an hour. Like, I mean, hopefully not. I mean that'd be nice. But 10 minutes, give us a little bit of extra, digestion. But that is just me. Okay,
Yeah.
so this might be the last time we talk about Amphibia. I mean, I'm assuming, unless if I'm making a video about this, which I have been thinking about. I know what I'm making. I just want to have fun with it. So I might ask you, Birdie, if you want some help, and I'll let you know after the stream if you want, if you have that free time. You probably won't, but I think it'll be interesting. If you guys have nothing else, I'm gonna ask one question that everybody always wants to ask. Who is your favorite character in the whole show, and why?
Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back.
Boy, well, I guess I'll go. I would say the favorite character would be Anne, because she goes through a lot of changes, and it really reflects on what I've been through recently. I said this last time we talked about it, that she's just gone through so much, and I've gone through so much. Like I said before, I could make my movie into a freaking telenovela, and it would probably do okay. It's just so much stupid stuff that's happened, and so much stuff that you have to learn by just looking back. And I still feel like I'm learning. I have to just get better at it. But yeah, I mean, this show opened a lot to me over the years, and it just, when it ended, it's when it hits you hard. Same thing. You just don't notice it until it's like, oh shit, like damn, that this is actually important, and you have to realize a lot of these things play a part. As for a moment though, I would really say, and I still can't let go since I first saw it when it aired, like the night of. I think I saw it the night after. Um, when Anne stands up to the core, telling the core like, the treasure of Amphibia isn't just the stones; it's what's there. And she says a spell, and she powers up, and Sprig comes up right behind her in time when she's all glowing, and people call her God Anne, because she's just like glowing. She's beautiful, but at the same time, she's dying. Like, you can see her break apart, and the music in that little moment, it's so serene, it's so calm. And when Sprig talks, you can hear his hurt, you can hear her talk, and it's so sweet. Like, just all that plays out. And I'll be honest, I just saw it before we started to stream, just so I could like refresh my memory and keep it clean. And it still gets me teary-eyed. But that moment is just so perfect. It's so well done. it's just one of the moments that it just still has not left my mind. And when I think about it, like when I have a quiet moment and that thought, that little scene comes to into my head, I have to like get it away because I'll start tearing up for no reason because it just hits you that hard. It hits me that hard. I mean, maybe I'm just a softie, but that scene is one of my favorites, and it's one of the hardest hittings in my opinion.
You're saying when she's breaking apart?
When she, when Anne breaks the stones.
Oh, and she becomes fucking Super Saiyan, all
Like,
crazy and powered up.
yeah, I love that scene. Everything about that scene is like perfect. Everything, the softness, the power, their voices, the music, everything's perfect. Everything. But that's me. What about you two? Before we close up.
What was the question?
God damn it! No, favorite character or favorite scene or both. Favorite
I
character.
think I already told you my favorite characters: Ivy, Polly, and was it Maddie?
Oh yeah, that's right. You like all three. No, but I'm just saying for like the last question of the night. That's all. And then, do you have a favorite scene at all?
Favorite scene?
Yeah, like no scene stood out to you. Like, oh, I love that scene. Or nothing had an imprint. Nothing. What about you, Matt? Anything?
Thinking about it, like,
I'm not asking you
there
what's the
was a
cure for
part-
cancer. I'm just asking you like what's your favorite scene.
it's just so hard to think about it because, like, it's fresh, but it's like, what is it? Like, I don't know. I like Anne a lot, but I don't know if I classify her as my favorite.
I don't know. The show has too many good. Omega just wants us to find what's wrong with it.
Oh my
to pick
God,
one.
no.
To only
Oh,
like.
no.
I just pick one that you
Like,
like.
why?
I mean, if you
Why-
like 30
why
of
do we
them,
gotta
that's
just-
fine. I'm just saying, what's one that
I
you
don't
like?
know. Like I said, if it wasn't worth my time, look, I'm very blunt, and if the show was garbage, I wouldn't watch it. And
Oh my God.
I want to pick. I would say all the episodes are fine because it's worth a rewatch.
The answer is E, all the above.
Yeah, because like, why not? The show's good enough to rewatch. Why don't you just,
Oh,
for
you know,
those that are on
a
the
little bit of
edge,
a
just
cop
fuck it.
out, but since it's you, I'll accept it. I know you.
I mean,
I got you.
it's
I
like
get you.
Courage. I like a whole bunch of episodes. Ed
Oh,
and Eddie, I like a whole
man.
bunch of
Don't even-
episodes.
Don't even start that one. Oh,
Basically all the classic Nickelodeon, all the classic Cartoon Network.
yeah.
Sure, you want to say a favorite moment? Maybe I can throw some random ones, but even then, I still got to sift through a whole bunch of random good moments. Like, why do I have
Yeah,
to?
yeah,
though? They're all.
It's hard to pick because I gotta think about it.
It's
Like, I
good.
really like the cliff scene. I really like I like the Sasha redemption because it felt cheesy, but it also felt like, okay, I see where they're going. And then I mean, you know me, I tend to draw more into the dark side of things. So I guess if I had to pick one, I think it's the cracks in Marcy. Like, I like that part where she's like, shit is falling apart. Shit is fucking up.
Oh, True Colors, when she's basically
And
getting
she's,
exposed.
Yeah. And she wasn't trying to hurt anybody, but that's what's about to happen because of all of the shit she caused. And remember, she's just like, I just wanted an adventure. I just wanted, she doesn't want to go back.
Yeah. That's a hard hitting episode too, man. I mean, there's a reason why that episode stayed in the top 5 in the entire Disney Plus show line. Like it's
Is that one from season 2?
Yes, sir. All right. Well, I mean, I'm surprised. I wasn't expecting, to be like, oh, you guys just can't pick because, you actually like the whole show. The whole show did a lot. The whole show was pretty darn enjoyable. That is it for the stream. I mean, the correct answer is always Marcy Wu. I mean, Taco just said that. Thank you for showing up.
Nobody likes Mercy Wu. Is that what they said?
Yeah. Marcy Wu is the correct answer.